Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at XRP against its USDTP. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to show your support, please hit that like and subscribe button below. Feel free to comment any feedback you may have, and while you're down there you can find a link to our Discord. This is where the magic happens. We have live AMAs with the whole team twice a week, live chart analysis daily, Elliott wave theory lessons, TA requests for our members, and a whole list of other things going on in there. Why not come and have a look? Once in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out. Also in the description below, you will find an affiliate link to BYBIT. This is one of the best exchanges to use in our opinion, whether you want to leverage trade or spot trade, it really is a great exchange. This is an exchange we use ourselves. So anyway, let's get into the price action. So before we jump into the smaller timescales, I want to show you. So there's two ways that I'm currently looking at this move, and this is as a potential W, X, Y, X, and a Z. So ideally, this X wave, I would like it to come up again and move towards more towards this 1-to-1 area of the previous X wave, though it can technically be finished here, but it tends to move towards these sort of zones. There tends to be equality between these X waves. So that's one of the possibilities that I'm looking at. There is a way of reading this just as a WX, and so this is a W, this is an X, and then we could be potentially looking for a Y wave, which could be in the form of a zigzag, though currently I prefer this structure, and that's what I'm keeping an eye on. So with this move, we could be looking for potential move to the upside. And seeing as though we've had this as an A potential flat correction here for a B wave, we could be looking for a 5-wave move to the upside. So if we go into the smaller time frames, however, I had this plotted out for a while now, but there's some caveats to this. So basically, we'd have to be looking at this move now as a 1-2, 1-2, and then an additional 1-2. So it's starting to become less reliable because we're having so much build up here, and we're just not getting the traction that you'd be expecting to receive off the back of one of these. You'd expect this third wave to start kicking into gear and starting to get some decent moves to the upside. So I'm still thinking that potentially what's happening here is that we're actually still within this yellow wave 2 potentially, and what we could be having is just a more complex move where this is an A wave, or sorry, this would be a W wave, an X wave, and then we're looking to move down into these lows, probably towards this 36 cent 60 area. Though looking at the subwave count within this, provided this is a completed B wave, then we could be looking to come down here towards this 3704 area. So it could be looking to come and retest some of these lows, maybe form a double bottom here or something to that effect. Though for as long as we stay above this 3730 area, it's very hard to count this as an impulsive structure just because of the overlap. So I really don't like it. But if we were to move up back above this 4117 area, then it could potentially be possible that we have this as a 1-2, and then we're looking to build structure here. But even this within this move here doesn't look good for impulsive structure. It looks very corrective in A, B, and then maybe we've still got a little leg up in here. Maybe come and retest some of these zones to like the 40 cent area possibly, and then look to break down. If that's the case, then basically what would happen there is, provided we stay above this 34 cent 57 area, basically this wave 2 here, if I can grab hold of it, could effectively be down here at this point, and then we could start to look for some impulsive structure to come off the back of this. Though, should we start breaking down and should we cross this 34.57 area and this 32.10 and then finally this 31.60 area, that would invalidate all impulsive structures from this move. There is a way that you can potentially look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a truncated fifth wave as a diagonal, and then we'd be looking to retrace into this B wave support, and then that would just be a 1 and a 2. Though, once again, the structure within this is very difficult to say that this is a even as a diagonal, it's very sort of stretched. So I'm still thinking we're going to come down here and invalidate this potential of a 1-2 here. So this would be the area that I'm looking out for, this 34.57. Should we manage to hold above that, then we could be looking for a move to the upside. So the current impulsive triggers for this move would be the 50 cent area. Though, should we pull down deeper, it would change this slightly. And if I just get in on this so I can get it nice and accurate, if we have a look at this to the, let's go to this 1-to-1 area, then it would still be on this 50 cent range. So that's something that we're looking out for at the moment. If we get a move down into this zone, that 50 cent range could mark a impulsive trigger point should we start to get 5-wave structure to the upside. That would then trigger these alternative 1s and 2s, which could then potentially make us look to pushing up much higher, so above the 57 cent area. Obviously, until we get these waves developing, we can guess where this is going to go, but should there be any extensions within this wave, it's not going to make it very accurate. So it's better to start adjusting these boxes as we get more structure. So that's the one thing that we are looking at. However, this is the alternative way of looking at it, and it would be that we are in a fourth. We've completed a fourth wave, and then we're starting to make a 5-wave move to the downside here. So if this is the case, we'd still be looking at the potential of having a 5th wave drop. And let me get this into scale. So with this move, we'd be looking potentially to drop down to this 29.73 area to this 26.92 area as a typical 5th wave move. Though looking at, yeah, so that the moves down don't look very impulsive at the moment neither. There's very hard to count these as impulsive. The only way you could potentially do it is that this is a 1-2, this is a 1-2, and then we're going to start to progress to the downside like that. But yeah, it's not even the start of this move is not great. It looks more like a correction, and I think what we're going to get here is an A, a B, and a C, or W. Yeah, an A, B, C to the downside here. If that is the case, what we could be then looking at is potentially, if we're not ready to drop from this point yet, we could get this ABC. So the 1-to-1 of that ABC is this 43.48 area. And if we get this as an A, we come down to this retracement zone here and find a 1-to-1 at 36.68. That would then put this other 1-to-1 up to 43.48. And if that's the case, then what we could have here is this could still be within a corrective wave where this is an A. So this would be effectively this would be a W, W, X, and then a Y. So we'd have a W up into this A wave high. This is an X wave connecting wave, and then we'd have a zigzag here in basically a W, X, and a Y up into these highs. So we can see that we were finding support on this diagonal, but we've lost that support now. But we haven't moved away from it terribly much. So what I'm looking out for here is I've pulled this trend line off the top to here, and basically what I'm looking out for is if we start to move down, if we manage to find support on this as a potential channel, if it's going to just be moving sideways for a longer period of time. Though, if we do get this this move to the downside and we complete this C wave to the upside here, what we would be looking out for is crossing out this 0.4401 area. If we cross above that, then it would invalidate this 5th wave that's currently marked, and basically unless the move is a diagonal. So we'd have to be mindful that this move here could end up being a diagonal movement. And if that's the case, then we would still be looking for progression to the downside. Except looking at the size of this compared against the wave 2, it is getting quite big. So if it was going to be a diagonal, it would have to be an expanding diagonal, and that would mean that this fifth wave has to be longer than the third wave. So that's the one thing that we're looking out for that. The alternative is that actually where this wave 3 is here, what we're setting up, if we do move higher but fail to cross above this 51 cent area, is we could be forming either an a B, and then we're looking down for a C, or if it reaches impulse at that point, once we have this move completed, we can get an accurate read off of it. But basically, that impulsive trigger, if that was going to progress to the downside, would be much deeper. If it was going to progress as an impulse. So we just need to keep an eye on those things. Currently, a move up past this 48 cent 88 would basically um, create an impulsive structure within this move, and we'd have to count these subwaves as 1, 2s, and then figure out exactly which part of the wave it would be in, because we could be within wave 3 of 3 already. But failing that, we could be looking to push down into this 2973 area to 2860 area, with the 2692 being the lower range of that. Though, like I said, we need to be careful a little bit because we do have, I think the daily is still quite high on the, yeah, so the daily is still quite high on this, so it could potentially allow for quite a big drop. Weekly stochastic is also in the neutral position, so that's got room both ways, up or down. But I think the 8 hourly, well, the 8 hourly's got growth, so we'll have to keep an eye on these. Sometimes these can raise up without doing very little price appreciation or price damage, depending on how the volume's reacting. So we just need to keep an eye on them. If they do rise with very little price action to the upside, then it's probable that we're going to see continuation to the downside. And then it's basically important just to see whether we keep these levels. If we keep this 34.57 and this 31.60, if we fall back below this 31.60, then I'd be looking for this target here. Obviously, by that point, we'd have a bit more structure to work off of, and then I would be able to give you a better reading as to where that's going. So that's everything that's being currently looked out for, and I just want to say thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video and haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. This really helps us out. I hope everyone has a great day, and until we meet again, keep safe out there, everybody.